Money, fiat, is not acceptable. Reparations is not only overdue, it would be the simplest and easiest form of repayment. Instead of fiat, the false belief of money actually being power or being the object of actuality in regards to this form of life, the method, the systematic, the systemic culture and structure. Reparations would consist of land that has soil, of which has minerals, which has water that can be sustainable and is not poisoned and polluted. Besides for just land and minerals, many things and many actions would have to be upheld and taken and done. An apology is not only unnecessary, at this stage, at this point, is an insult to this very day. No shame, no remorse, unwilling to change, arrogant, prideful, full of hate, full of lust, and a desire to be wicked. That is what we deal with every single day. We are owed our own peace of mind. We are the fiduciaries of this land and the resources. Our kindness taken for granted, our existence taken for granted. I am in love with the fact that without us, there is no others that will prosper. I love that fact. I enjoy it every day. It's what brings the smile to my face. It's what gives me peace in the midst of this vanity, greed, and the lust for power and the lust for control over the fiduciaries of this land is what has been executed daily in our lives. We know that time is a concept that many mistake and have been convinced into believing and upholding this structure of this false worldwide clock that is not represented how it is. Therefore, it is not 2019, nor is it 158. Okay? It is not March. It's not the 28th. And since time cannot be measured factually, much less could it be represented factually by those who are not the fiduciaries. Even the fiduciaries, we are not able to give a confirmation on what time, what zone, and since we cannot give a time or the zone at this very present moment, it doesn't matter much what month you believe it is, what year you believe it is, and what time you think it is. You know that it's light outside, and for others, it may not be. Okay? You know that the light is shining. You know that the light guides us through these moments. These are the cycles of which immigrants, whether that's immigrant with an I or an E, immigrants are not only illegally appropriating what time and what date and when. So until the land with the soil, with the nutrients and the nutrients and the minerals, and that water, the mass of water, is back in the ownership and is occupied by the fiduciaries of this land of which you're inhabiting, and ungratefully, unrighteously, illegally, unlawfully. Now, arguing with the immigrants is not what I'm here for, nor is it what will be taking place. I do think the powers that are, not the powers that be, but the powers that are, I thank you humbly for picking me up, loving me, guiding me, teaching me, cheering me on, cheering us on, loving us, and defending us when we were not, and perhaps when we are not, able to do so for ourselves. And may I say to myself and to those of you who possess this phenomenal and beautiful spirit within you, it surrounds you, you embrace it, and there may be some of you who have not tapped into it yet, or have not discovered it yet, or discovered yourself. I thank you for continuing on, even in the midst of dysfunction. I forgive myself. I forgive you also. It is difficult, and also we need to heal and ease off this filth and disease, and realize and recognize and to know that it is not our fault. A lot of the pain and a lot of the struggles that we have dealt with, are dealing with, have went through, been through, and some may go through, be currently going through. It is not your fault. This corrupt system and fear and jealousy and envy and this monstrous desire for control is the reason, is the guilty party, and is the cause to why we are not excelling. And regardless of their plans, regardless of their tricks and loopholes, and regardless of what they so choose to do with their limited moments within this realm and within reality, just know, we can know that there are actions and there are divine scheduled occurrences going on currently, has been going on, will continue to go on with or without us, and especially without those who unrighteously, unlawfully, illegally, and violently have labeled and positioned themselves to be the fiduciaries of this land, which we must know. We must know absolutely that they are not the key holders to that divine realm. They are not the key holders to that spirit. They are not the key holders to the excellence of that. And now we must, and including me, we must embrace the powers that are with gratefulness and a desire to achieve the rhythm, the harmony, and relationship with the powers that are. Please, I ask of you, to not continue with this concept of creator only being one, okay? It's not just one, and also to discontinue with the use of referring to creator and the powers that are, because we are a part of that, and we need to grow and learn and be guided by and accept this power and accept this relationship. I know firsthand how uncomfortable it is to be with the only divine spirit and divine powers. How uncomfortable it is embracing and accepting when we were brainwashed, okay? We were brainwashed, programmed, deceived into this filth and ideology of us being not only inferior, but us being powerless and being hopeless and cowering to this filth and the methods of which it orchestrates. And we, you, us, we are going to see the strength, the genius, the wealth truly exists because it lives within me, it lives within you, and it lives within the powers that are. Every day that progresses, I feel grateful. And as I continue to be challenged and to achieve a new source of life, a new source of love, a new source of empowerment and guidance, and realizing that I am not alone, and that the danger, most often the case, is that the danger has been planted within me in my mental triggering because of the filth and the garbage and the dysfunction that has infiltrated and portrayed itself into our lives. And this includes, most often cases, this includes those that you may call family. And um, every diversion tactic, okay, the programming, as destructive as it is also at fault of that. You can go down the list of the dysfunction families is where a lot of those anxieties and fear mechanisms were developed into our mental capacity. And then you can travel on down that list, and then you'll see, or travel along the list, you'll see religion, violence, sexual oppression, sexual violence, misogyny, okay? And then the females, as deceptive and vicious as they was, that were extremely abusive to the males and boys and even to the men, and their divisive actions and what they partaken and partook in. The decoration of something that thinks that it's pretty and thinks that it's beautiful. That which is beautiful does not need to be advertised all over the doggone place. It just simply is. And we just simply are. Take a look. Take a look. Because when I looked and I seen the beauty, and yet I don't hear them and see them putting posters up. I don't hear them and putting out commercials and slogans, songs and books and so-called magazines. They don't steal the show. They don't get jealous when another beautiful living has had some other receive attention. Anything that feels that it needs to put one down in order to fill up has never been beautiful, has never been natural, has never been love, has never been the source of love. So we must know. Look at our nature. Look at how we are. We have been willing to take on the weight and the guilt of this world that lives within it, that's on a time frame. We were willing to take that on. And even when we took it on, do you think that stopped the abuse? So here's what I have to say. Reparations is the easiest thing that they could do. and that they should do. That's the easiest settlement. Because in all reality, what is owed to us, that's a small request in regards to what is owed to us. For far too long, longer than necessary, we took on and attempted to take on an identity that's not only not ours, but is unnatural in the sense of you can't turn a duck into a tiger. It's never going to happen. And as far as any that has an opposition, or as far and to nobody really, to anything, any opposition to reparations or a settlement, and to believe that it cannot be done peacefully, goes to show the insanity. And I won't even get into that, because again, like I said, I'm not going to argue with a fool. Anything, nothing, nobody, anybody, anyone, any group that is in opposition to reparations, and this would include the land with the soil and the nutrients, the peace of mind, boundary lines. No, I'm not talking about no little corner somewhere. To be left alone. Leave us alone. And we will interact with you when we so choose. You're not going to keep on interrupting and continue to leech off of us. And I will repeat that I find joy and comfort. It gives me absolute bliss to know that without us no longer exist. Oh, it's lovely, absolutely lovely. So now is the moment to be making demands, whether that's mentally or vocally. Got no power. And killing ain't gonna resolve the issue. Are numbered. Playtime been over. I need those who have that spirit within them of the source, from the source, from our creator and creators. Thank you. To stop guilting yourself. Yes, I do comprehend. I feel for you. Literally, I feel for you. Yes. Stop guilting yourself. And we need to connect. And I ain't just talking over the phone or something. We are going to have to connect. In all reality, we have no choice but to regain that relationship. I love you. Bless yourself, because when you bless yourself, you're blessing the rest of us too. Reparations in fiat money is not even close. That's a far shot from the actions that are going to be taking place. To reconstruct the priorities and simple. Okay? Simple. To discontinue with this concept that we are supposed to go all out and have all this is not only too much energy, too much focus on the next and the newest. Absolutely not. Simple. Growing, developing, creating. And most of all, we deserve it. Yes. Enjoy yourself. Love yourself. I do.